a thing. So let's all get a laugh together here because this is the list. And you see the list, right? Well, I don't see, correct me if I'm wrong, do you see Angel Reese on this list?
Here we go again. Angel Reese is having a tough time after ESPN's latest rankings put her in check. She thought she was the queen of the court, but ESPN said, nah, just a glorified rebound chaser. Now, she's throwing a tantrum like someone stole her twerking shorts. Maybe they just watched the tape. Stick around, this meltdown is Hall of Fame worthy.
So Asia Wilson 1, Caitlin Clark 2, Breonna Stewart 3, Nafisa Collier 4, and Alyssa Thomas at 5.
Angel Reese didn't even make the top 10 in ESPN's new rankings. She landed at 12th, not 10th, not 9th, but 12th. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is chilling comfortably at number 2, towering over the so-called highly rated players. And yet, some people tried comparing Reese to Clark? Yeah, that conversation is officially over.
Aaliyah Boston and Angel being higher than Satu, that's crazy work, fam. I'm sorry.
Let's be real. This is embarrassing for Angel Reese. She had all the hype, all the talking, all the antics for what? Just to land outside the top 10? That's rough. Caitlin Clark didn't even need to say a word. Her game speaks for itself. Meanwhile, Reese is probably somewhere tweeting through the pain or coming up with another excuse.
We've got ESPN's ranks of WNBA players right now. And Caitlin Clark is really damn high. One could argue she's not high enough. But I think it's pretty surprising for a lot of these folks. I will tell you this straight up. Angel Reese ain't nowhere to be found in the top 10. She's not involved. You're not here. Sorry, but not sorry.
And don't even start with the "but she's a double-double machine" argument. ESPN used to downplay Caitlin Clark, acting like she wasn't that girl. But now, even they had no choice but to put respect on her name. The numbers don't lie. The skill doesn't lie. The rankings finally don't lie. Meanwhile, Angel Reese fans have to squint and scroll down to find her name. 12th place? That's like thinking you're VIP at a party, but they make you wait outside while Caitlin Clark is already inside, running the show.
Okay. And lo and behold, I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen number 2, they had Caitlin Clark. I said, really?
And let's be honest, if the roles were reversed and Caitlin Clark was 12th while Reese was 2nd, the internet would not shut up about it. But now rankings suddenly don't matter. Convenient. Sitting at 12th means your skill level reflects it. Caitlin Clark is number 2, and honestly, she should be number 1. She's already proven she's the face of women's basketball, while Angel Reese barely clings to a top 15 spot.
If we did go off of how much winning Caitlin was doing, how she was contributing to winning, and then going off the viewership and all that, oh yeah, for sure. I think Caitlin should have won, man. I think Caitlin should have won.
ESPN must have seen an early screening of Unrivaled because when the experts dropped their rankings, the truth finally came out. Remember last season when ESPN ranked Angel above Caitlin on the rookie list? Above Caitlin Clark, the same player breaking records and making defenders rethink their career choices? Meanwhile, Angel was out here just vibing.
ESPN's list, y'all, not mine. So don't be chirping, getting mad if your fave isn't at the top. So at number 1, we have Cameron Brink. Number 2, Angel Reese. Number 3, Kate Martin. 4, Rakia Jackson. 5, Julie Van Loo. And 6, Caitlin Clark.
Sure, she had rebounds. But outside of that, what were we really looking at? Brick City. Terrible defense. No offensive bag. Yet somehow, she was crowned a top rookie. Fast forward, and the experts have finally woken up. Maybe they watched the games, maybe they stopped believing TikTok hype, but either way, justice has been served. Reese hasn't improved. She might have even regressed.
Number 2 player in the entire league, not on the Olympic team. Just pointing that out. And of course, you did have some haters. Please, Clark is not better than Stewie, Fee, or Inescu. Clark is not better than Stewart. Glazing Clark is not better than Ionescu, blah, blah, blah. No matter what Caitlin Clark does, she's going to have some haters out there. It's just they're losing their minds over all the people that have either been traded for and signed for the Indiana Fever right now. And, of course, it looks like a powerhouse.
This is why ESPN's rankings last year were so bizarre. They really try to sell the idea that Angel Reese was better than Caitlin Clark. What were they watching? Clark was leading her team, making WNBA history, and casually pulling up from deep. Meanwhile, Angel was putting up the most mid-double-doubles you've ever seen. The debate...
Asia number 1, Caitlin number 2, Brianna number 3, and now we really have Brianna over Nafisa in terms of projections going into next year. Stop. Nafisa Collier is definitely...
The debate is finally over. Caitlin Clark versus Checks Notes Angel Reese? A debate that never should have existed. The record is set straight. Clark is her, and Reese? Well, she's just there. Caitlin is redefining the game, draining logo threes, and making defenders look like they're stuck in slow motion, while Angel and her crew sit courtside throwing shade. Talking trash is cute, but it only works when you back it up.
There is no individual who has benefited more from the Caitlin Clark effect than Angel Reese. That's my hot take. Think about it. From going up against her, playing her in college, taking on that villain role, going into the league at the same time as Caitlin Clark, everything that she's said and done on social media or in post-game press conferences, she is a star because of Caitlin Clark. She would not be a star if Caitlin Clark weren't a player. She'd be just as good a women's basketball player. She'd have been picked high in the WNBA draft and would still be a good player. Yep. But she is a star because of Caitlin Clark.
She would be a star in women's basketball.
And let's talk about Angel Reese's most loyal fans. Their level of delusion is historic. They'll say she's unstoppable while ignoring her bricks. They'll cry about hate when people point out basic facts. Meanwhile, Caitlin's out here dropping 30-point games with ease, setting records, and making the league more money than some franchises combined. Angel? Just existing. And when her team loses, it's always the refs, the system, the media, never her.
Angel Reese went on this massive rant last year with Kennedy Carter, I believe, standing next to her about how people are tuning in for her. It wasn't just one other person, but all these people are moving the needle and people want to watch her, except you're not her. You're not her.
Right now, Caitlin Clark has just one obstacle in her way for MVP. Aya Wilson. Yeah, Wilson's a former MVP, plays for a stacked Aces team, whatever. But let's be real, she's just holding that top spot for now. Caitlin is coming, and fast. Next year, she might be the best player in the league. The Indiana Fever went crazy in free agency, building a scary team around her. It's about to be a problem for the rest of the league.
Indiana Fever did last night got me so excited. The Fever, if you haven't been paying attention, they are really active in ensuring that Caitlin Clark and company have a true contending lineup next season. They have...
Now, the real question, what's next for Angel Reese? Because this season, yikes. The glow-up she expected never happened. People hyped her up as a future star, but instead, she's struggling. A lot. At this rate, next season, she might not even crack the rankings. How do you go backward from where you started? That's next-level regression.
I think they had a list last year. She was like 15 or something like that. And Angel was like 19. And this year they got it closer to being right. It's more so, it's close.
She wants to be the villain, but the only thing villainous is her stat line. Missing layups while Caitlin is making history. Breaking records. Backing it up. That's what real superstars do. Not just yelling for attention and hoping people don't check the box score. Caitlin is coming for MVP, and Angel? She might need to focus on just staying relevant.
The biggest thing for me is her not even responding to all the that's going on. And I think that's commendable.
The biggest thing for me is her not even responding to all she was going to do. And I think that's commendable. I think she's a
That's not going to happen this year, but it could happen very soon.
It's great for the conversation. Y'all all went to the Olympics and now y'all losing now. Y'all burnt out. Y'all should have let this young girl go over there and play. Y'all all went to the Olympics and now y'all losing now. Y'all burnt out. Y'all should have let this young girl go over there and play. Caitlin Clark is a super. Nah, but she would because she's a rookie. You let these young play. Caitlin Clark is a super.
The most impressive thing? Caitlin Clark doesn't even respond to the noise. She just hoops. She's doing everything we expected and more. MVP? Maybe not this year, but soon. Meanwhile, some of the veterans should have let her go to the Olympics instead of burning themselves out. Caitlin Clark is a superhero. Every game, she adds more fans, more records, more history. Meanwhile, Angel Reese? Turns out, you can't build a career on taunting someone who's just better than you.
Going to probably Clark is somebody she's going to is I would say going be, to in my probably opinion, the second favorite for she's MVP. Going to I would say I think she is going to be the second favorite for MVP. The second in the favorite for MVP. That is how I think she is going to be the second favorite for MVP in the
And speaking of overrated,
that is how confident I am in Caitlin Clark's year 2.
And speaking of overrated,
let's talk about Aya Wilson. Aces fans, relax. Y'all act like she's the greatest thing since sliced bread when she's just part of a super team. Put Caitlin Clark on a squad like that, and she's dropping 50 a night while solving world hunger in her free time. Wilson disappears in big moments more than my Wi-Fi in a storm. And her fans, they spend more time tearing down Clark than hyping up their own player.
They went up and snatched if they didn't go get Sid from the Aces. She is 100% vibes. She is 100% going to be a backup from the Caitlin. It's going to be fantastic backup for Kelsey. Like she is 100% great addition to this backcourt for Caitlin. She has senior leadership, fantastic championship experience. She is a great addition to the most fun ever. She has senior leadership. She has championship experience. She is the most fun ever.
And shattering records like it's a hobby. She's got more fans than half the league combined, and honestly, the WNBA should be thanking her. Clark is the main event, the superstar, the future. And Angel Reese? Well, let's just say she's still trying to buy a ticket on the hype train that left the station a long time ago.